somehow. That I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. That I will achieve, because I do the things I should, between my brethren kind and good. So I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on to reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on, I won't stop now. I'll keep moving on till I reach the top somehow. I'll keep moving on.
Oh yes, my Straight Talk family, when you hear that music, you know it is time for another edition of Straight Talk, and time for me to bid you a very pleasant night. My Straight Talk family, you know, or rather for those who may be joining us for the first time, just to let you know that Straight Talk is a public service program that facilitates and promotes all issues of national interest, be they legal, be they environmental, be they technological, social, economic, and or political issues. On Straight Talk, you do have a forum to express yourselves freely. Let's, in the process, continue to keep St. Kitts and Nevis as one of the freest countries in the entire world. And tonight, it's a special night for me. Tonight I must begin, though. I must begin by first conveying a special thank you to all of my Straight Talk family in St. Kitts and Nevis, and to my Straight Talk family in the entire Caribbean region. And when I say the entire Caribbean region, I'm really making reference to all the islands going as far as Jamaica in the north, because yes, we do have them on board, to Trinidad and Tobago in the south, and Guyana as well in the south, in the USVI, St. Thomas, St. Croix, St. John, in the BVI, Totola, Anegada, Virgin Gorda, Statia, Sabre, St. Martin, and Anguilla. I say thank you to everyone in the St. Kitts Nevis diaspora, yes, in the USA, Canada, Europe, UK, Asia, all over the world, and this Africa, or a matter of fact, to all who kept connected to Straight Talk via radio, ZIZ, Sugar City FM, or rather, I should say, on the World Wide Web via zizonline.com, Sugar City FM, StKitts.com, on social media, YouTube, Facebook, and I must as well say a big thank you to my technical support, Bevan Wilkinson, John James over there in Toronto, Chico, Oliver Bradley, and the mayor from St. Paul's. I say thank you to you, my Straight Dog family, for your tolerance level over the last few weeks in particular, when I communicated virtually and the quality was not what you perhaps expected. In spite of my time, though, in quarantine as well, and with all of the COVID protocols in place, we stayed connected. I have had to adjust in solitary confinement until my parole hearing just Saturday, I had my parole hearing, believe it or not, Saturday, early in the morning. Thanks to all who sent me food on a regular basis. Verna, my dear friend, Jasmine and Boyblo. Jasmine sent me a whole junk of pork one time, and I tell you, the pork had no hair. So it was not Boyblo's pork. I just left Jasmine. I forgot to tell her this. And I don't know why she's always trying not to give me Boyblo's pork, because Boyblo's pork always has hair. My Straight Talk family. So I don't know why she's always trying to do that. And my Straight Talk family, obviously, my Straight Talk family, I as well want to thank people like Chris Moonlight Roberts, who brought me that breadfruit and mackerel, and my brother Derek Huggins and his wife for the fruits, and also the men who call. I say thank you. My Straight Talk family, tomorrow is the first day of December. And for us here in the Caribbean, and in particular St. Kitts and Nevis, I for one look forward with great expectation and optimism to the upcoming Christmas season. Also to the challenging new year, 2021. Next year, ironically, will be the 21st year of the 21st century. But as the century turns 21, there are many children in the world, or of this world, who cannot choose to be on their own, even though they will be at the age of maturity. At the age of maturity, parents are no longer expected to be responsible for their children. Take note that I did not say the age of majority, because that puts us into the realms of the law, which stipulates a special threshold. By that I mean the law recognizes the moment when minors are given the legal rights associated with adults. That is when the legal responsibilities of their parents or guardian over them are terminated. They then assume legal control over themselves and are solely responsible for their actions and their decisions. Now, most countries set an age of majority. In St. Kitts and other countries in the Caribbean, most of them, I believe, if not all, set that age of majority to 18 years old. In some jurisdictions, it is a higher age, whilst others it is lower. Now, I believe what this is called is the social construction of adulthood. Aging, on the other hand, is an established biological process, whereas adulthood is determined by social criteria. Those things, however, are academic. And I'm not a biologist, neither am I a social scientist. I am just a simple talk show host who believes that we are at the age or stage of maturity when we can demonstrate the ability to respond to the environment, when we can adjust to the surroundings in which we find ourselves. Being aware of the correct time and the location which we are at, we must know how to behave, and we must know when to act according to the circumstances and the culture of the society in which we find ourselves. So then, the message I bring you tonight, straight out of quarantine, straight out of what one of my friends over there said, straight out of prison, is very simple. We must act responsibly. And we must pay attention to what the HEOC and the NEOC officials are saying. I went to a church service when I came out of quarantine late Saturday night. And it was not my church. It was not Zion or any of the Moravian churches. I went to a church service at what some people call in our young days a sideway church. But those churches are so powerful now, it will be offensive to say sideway church. But I went to this service and it was spiritually uplifting. I liked the pastor's message. But what caught me is that not one single soul in that church wore a mask, and except me. And I want people, as I say, to act responsibly. Because this is what the pandemic is teaching us every single day. COVID-19 has changed everything for every one of us. Whether we are in North America, England, St. Kitts, Nevis, or St. Lucia, or Trinidad and Tobago, or wherever for that matter. COVID-19 has negatively impacted the entire world. Yes, this coronavirus has negatively impacted life and livelihood around the globe without exemption. As we live in a global village, we are global citizens, impacted from a health, social, and economic perspective. What about the environment in which we find ourselves? It is most challenging. It is most challenging and the most challenging period of our lifetime. And we are all feeling the strain. This coronavirus does not pause, whether we are tired or whether we are frustrated and want it to go away. It does not pause, I say. Whether we are out liming with our friends or our family, it spreads so quickly and it doesn't wait for us to catch up. So over the next few weeks, as we approach the upcoming Christmas season and the New Year, we need to urgently continue to contain the level of transmission of this virus in our federation. We need to keep our borders open, yes. Get back hopefully to our workplaces and avoid the potential stress on our healthcare system. Given the data provided thus far, we have done quite well, my Straight Talk family. We had our first two cases. We had our first two cases way back in March of this year. We had our first cases.
As of 11:03 p.m. on Tuesday, March 24th, 2020, the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis confirmed its first two cases of the novel coronavirus disease, COVID-19, in St. Kitts. The patients are a 57-year-old female and the 21-year-old male, both of whom are Kittitian nationals with recent travel histories to New York, USA. My government has advised that both patients arrived in the Federation on March 18th, were tested on March 20th, and have been in home quarantine ever since their return to the Federation. The infection of both patients is travel-related, meaning that the cases of COVID-19 were imported into the country. Every effort is now being taken to prevent the possibility of community or local transmission.
My Straight Talk family, when compared with our sisters and brothers in St. Lucia, the first case there in St. Lucia was on March 13, 2020, when St. Lucia had its first case as announced by the CMO in St. Lucia, Dr. George. Dr. George said this on March 13th of this year.
The coronavirus disease, COVID-19, has come to St. Lucia. This news was revealed at a press conference held by the Ministry of Health late Friday afternoon. Chief Medical Officer Dr. Sharon Belma George disclosed that the patient is a UK national.
Today, Friday, March 13, 2020, St. Lucia recorded its first confirmed case of COVID-19. The patient is a 63-year-old woman with a travel history from the United Kingdom. The patient arrived in St. Lucia on March 7th in the company of her husband and presented to our healthcare system on March 11th, 2020. A clinical sample was taken from the patient on that same day and was sent to the Caribbean Public Health Agency for testing. The results were received today, Friday, March 13th, this afternoon, and confirmed that it is our first case of COVID-19 here in St. Lucia.
However, first case way back in March the 13th, on March 13th of this year. However, we must empathize with our sisters and brothers in St. Lucia, because during the same period of 8 months, or matter of fact, before that, 8 months later here in St. Kitts and Nevis, we have had just 22 too many positive cases here in St. Kitts and Nevis.
Yesterday afternoon, the Ministry of Health received 2 positive laboratory reports, that's COVID-19 laboratory reports, for 2 returning nationals who would have arrived in the Federation last Saturday, November 21st. So in essence, we have 2 additional imported cases of COVID-19. This brings the total number of confirmed cases of COVID-19 for the Federation to 22.
However, as I was going to say earlier, we must empathize with our sisters and brothers in St. Lucia, because during the same period of 8 months in St. Lucia, their positive cases have surged to a staggering 235.
The Ministry of Health and Wellness, today Wednesday, November 25th, 2020, received confirmation of 9 new cases of COVID-19. These cases bring the total number of cases diagnosed in country to date to 235. 2 of the cases are visitors to St. Lucia. They arrived in country on Sunday, November 22nd, 2020 and required testing for COVID-19 upon arrival. The other 7 cases are St. Lucia nationals.
Jamaica, Trinidad and Tobago, and some other Caribbean countries are not doing well. Likewise, my Straight Talk family. Now, St. Lucia reopened its borders in June of this year, and we here in St. Kitts Nevis did the same 3 weeks ago in late October. St. Lucia is experiencing community spread of the virus, and that is what we here in St. Kitts and Nevis must prevent. The next 4 weeks are therefore critical for us here in the Federation. Should we take all super spreader events off the table? It's a question we must ask ourselves. Carnival, football, dances, and fetes, should they be off or on the table? If you ask me, I will say that the NEOC and the HEOC have got us to a place of control, it seems, and I applaud them. But just coming out of quarantine, I am a more fervent believer. I am more fervent in belief that we should not gamble with the lives of the people of this federation. What do you think? And be careful with those flip-floppers amongst us who one day want us to test, and test. And some other day, they'll say some other thing, my Straight Talk family.
The time has now come for more decisive leadership. This is the stage at which we need to ascertain, through an expansive testing drive, we need to ensure that all persons who arrive at our borders countries are in fact tested in order to confirm their status. The key to containing the virus at this stage is to test, and test again. This is the only way to arrive at an accurate assessment of the situation here on the ground in St. Kitts and Nevis.
That was then. But on another day, the flip-flopper would take a complete about turn, my Straight Talk family. Believe it or not.
You have to get approval to come home. It's not good governance, in my opinion. They have to be approved to come to their yard. This is their yard. You understand? You can't just simply make people to believe they are second-class citizens in their own country. Because right now, it is out there that tourists are being treated better than them. I'm telling you, it's out there. It is this talk out there in the town. Our citizens are made to feel that they can return home and don't have to have approval from a government to come to their yard. That is the point I want to.
Others would support a particular position today, but tomorrow they oppose the same thing, my Straight Dog family.
You open the ports, we're going to get cases. The CMO was right to say that in early April. I don't know if you remember that. CMO said that. She used the word inevitable, and she was absolutely correct. It's inevitable. We cannot keep the borders closed ad infinitum.
Well, the borders are reopened. As I said before, at the end of October, the 31st of October to be exact, I am told that approximately 136 persons who were quarantined over the last 14 days all have tested negative. The pre-arrival requirements that were established prior to reopening our borders are very clear, and obviously they are working, my Straight Talk family. They have to be working, I believe.
What are the pre-arrival requirements? You will be asked to log on to the site, the website, the URL www.knatravelform.kn. There you will see the St. Kitts and Nevis entry form. Every traveler coming into the Federation will be required to complete this entry form. So if you're coming in by air or by sea, you would have to complete this form. You would also be required to provide us the result of a PCR test that must be done within 3 days of travel. So if you are coming to St. Kitts this Saturday, you would have had to go to your lab this morning, and to get your sample taken, test processed, to get the result by Thursday, Friday, ahead of boarding the plane on October the 31st. This PCR test must be done at an ISO accredited laboratory in the traveler's host country.
Well, the protocols are no doubt working. Notwithstanding that, right now we still have some distance to go in this race against this dreadful virus, and we do not know as yet where is the finish line. On Saturday, my last day in quarantine, I submitted to the required PCR test, which I had to pay for 3 days in advance. 2 pleasant nurses, bedecked in what looked like hazmat suits, took my swabs at about 6 a.m. in the morning. I got my negative results at 10 p.m. that night, nigh 16 hours after. However, as I walked to freedom near midnight on Saturday, I reflected on the rapid test medical business that Labour candidate Dr. Drew was trying to introduce, and that is why his political boss was promoting kits from China. Yes, his political boss was promoting rapid test kits from China. Do you remember that, my Straight Talk family?
The key to containing the virus at this stage is to test, 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 and test again.
But tonight, as I continue to celebrate my freedom, I must say that in spite of the fact that I underwent my 3rd PCR test over 3 quarantine periods, but my health was not subjected to the use of a rapid test kit like the ones from China that Dr. Douglas, Dr. Drew, and their Indian business partner earlier tried to introduce to the Joseph N. France Hospital. I say thank God we have a government that was not prepared to gamble with the health of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis, my Straight Talk family.
We are not using rapid test kits, and we are also not using test kits out of China, out of an abundance of caution, because we are not prepared. This government, the Federal Ministry of Health, is not prepared to gamble with the health of the people of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Not prepared to gamble with the health of our people. I say thank God we have a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. One that puts life first and always ensures order, my Straight Talk family.
We had a life-first strategy. We remain clear that the first priority of the government, it must be the safety and security of its people and its residents. But it seems, for political purposes, they want to just shove back the door wide open. Let man come back a yard. You will come back a yard in a manner that protects those of us who stood in the yard. We have to have order.
Order, my Straight Talk family. Because the race, or as some would say, the war against this dreadful coronavirus continues into 2021. But the finish line is not completely in sight. As I said before, next year is the 21st year in the 21st century. How significant is that reality? Come next month, December, the Prime Minister and Minister of Finance would lay on the table in Parliament the budget estimates for fiscal year 2021. Estimates of expenditure and revenue will be debated, and an appropriation bill, no doubt, will be passed, which will help us to gather a renewed focus and renewed energy to continue fighting this war against COVID-19. I am, however, optimistic going into 2021. St. Kitts Nevis has paid down on a vaccine, and immunization is a widely accepted risk mitigation strategy against infection from a dreadful disease like this coronavirus. It is said that vaccination is one of the greatest discoveries of medical science. But with vaccines come an hesitancy and a stigma, along with an anti-vaccine lobby all over the world, and even right here in St. Kitts and Nevis. But as we face these uncertainties, let us remain optimistic, my Straight Talk family.
With the latest positive news from vaccine trials, the light at the end of this long dark tunnel is growing brighter. There is now real hope that vaccines will help to end the pandemic. The significance of the scientific achievement cannot be overstated. No vaccines in history have been developed as rapidly as this. The scientific community has set a new standard for vaccine development. Now, the international community must set a new standard for access. The urgency with which vaccines have been developed must be matched by the same urgency to distribute them fairly. Every government rightly wants to do everything it can to protect its people.
And yes, let us remain optimistic. Additionally, we can be more optimistic from what we heard about our CBI program last week from the head of the CIU, Lescan, who said this, my Straight Talk family.
The CBI program is doing very well. COVID has brought a certain awareness to the marketplace. People are looking for opportunities to give themselves a second option, an option to travel, an option to be with their family. And as a result, we have seen an increase of applications and an increase in applications both through our Sustainable Growth Fund and to our real estate pool. As we go forward into 2021, we see a continued trend. And we also see that new markets, South Africa specifically, or Nigeria, Cambodia, Vietnam, India, are all areas that we will aggressively market. So we'll continue to explore this and to encourage our agents to market into those new territories.
Yes, and local and successful developer Dion Daniel from Nevis gave us a lot to hope for as well. And he reconfirmed that our country's leadership is in the right hands, my Straight Talk family.
We commend the Prime Minister for his leadership and progress he has made in the CBI program over the past 5 years. We have rebounded significantly with numerous challenges, and despite the extreme challenges over the past 9 months globally, we continue to see an increase in the CBI-related sales in all projects. We trust in the Almighty God will help us through these upcoming difficult months, and we look forward to welcoming investors back to our shores to see the best managed CBI program and longest in the world.
Yes, we all look forward to welcoming back visitors to our shores come 2021 and beyond. But a lot depends on us to act responsibly, and that's my message tonight as we go into this Christmas season. In every risk, there is an opportunity. So let us together turn our negatives into positive and potential failure into success. These are just some of my views, though, my Straight Talk family, as we stand near to the portal of a challenging year. I want to hear your views as well. Give me your perspective outlook for 2021, the 21st year of the 21st century. And since I've been gone, there are some things you may want to say to me as well. So I'll open the lines. It's now 25 before the 9 o'clock hour. I'll now open the lines and entertain your calls. I'll also entertain your emails. I see some WhatsApp messages as well, and I'll entertain all of them. The numbers are 869-465-2555. That's our local number. It's one number, there are 3 lines. For those in the diaspora, there's an overseas line, 718-577-2916. The lines are going, but I want to implore you before I go to the first call. I implore you to respect others. And of course, to achieve that, you must first respect yourselves. Let us try to be fair to all concerned. Let us try to build goodwill and better friendships. Let us, my Straight Talk family, try to ensure that the things we say and or do will be beneficial to all concerned. And let us as well, the things we say and or do, strive to build a kinder, gentler St. Kitts and Nevis. At 24 before 9, I go to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Ambassador.
Good night. You have
Nothing is on. Nothing on.
I'm getting the feedback from you.
Okay, nothing on.
Thanks a lot. Good. How are you?
All right. I couldn't catch you these past days. So I decided after I heard you was back home, I decided to wait till you come back to the station. So I am on now, and just saying, how are you doing? I see that you said that you was COVID-free. Thank God for that.
Yes,
I am still here COVID-free too. I am waiting. I'm not going nowhere until my vaccine. And I think I'm in the first line for the vaccine because I'm at the age. Okay? So I think that the radio army in St. Kitts is doing well. St. Kitts is going well. Thank God. Thank God for our Prime Minister. I can say, because he really managed the country in the past year that this COVID was in. He did a good job, and thank God for him. And just ask the family of St. Kitts and Nevis to help keep him up in prayer, because I does keep him up in prayer. I keep you up in prayer. I keep every one of the government people in prayer, because you all are really fighting it. So have a blessed night and be safe going home. Okay?
Thank you. Thanks, and you be safe as well. My
will.
family. Nice to hear you.
Bye.
All the best
Thank
to you.
you.
Yes.
Bye.
Yeah, thanks a lot. My Straight Talk family, it's now 22 minutes before the 9 o'clock hour. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
A pleasant good evening to you, and how are you?
I am peaceful. I can see your dimples. I'm so happy you got in so early.
Oh, yes. I'm glad you're out of the quarantine. I feel like a big size Coke.
Me too.
Yes. And those two clips that you played here for the Cobra Snake, one of them is like when you're drunk and you go home and you eat your food, and the next one is like, well, I ain't eat no food. So one drunk and one like when you're sober. So the first one you say, give the people them. Open the bottle, the people them come home. And the next time, he's saying, you have to test. They look like a junkie man, junk eat the food, and forget that he eat the food. And when you wake up, he say he not eat no food. That's the next thing about it. The man is confused. So we don't have to take him on and what. Let me do what we got to do. Who want to come, abide by the rule, and who don't want to come, stay over there and leave us here free from COVID. You have a pleasant night and safe drive when you're going home, and have a pleasant night rest. See you later.
Thanks a lot, my dear. Yes, it's interesting. Yes, I don't know if he still goes to run barrel, yes, but what you say, remember, he said this, my Straight Talk family.
The key to containing the virus at this stage is to test, and test again.
Yes, we will test and test, but not the rapid test. Caller, you're live. Okay, Mr. Caller, you are live. Hello, caller.
Greetings in the name of our great African ancestors, especially the most honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey and Queen Nsing. Blessed evening, my beloved African brother. How are you? All is well?
I am peaceful, my brother. Yourself? I am COVID.
I'm good, man. And the family is all right. But you know, this COVID thing, man, raise the ugly head again here in New York, man. But, brother, listen. You know, I just said here to the cars and, you know, I just got to just keep on living, brother. I'm not going to let anything put fear in me or anything like that. I just adhere to the protocol and just keep on living my life, beloved. Now, beloved, first let me say to our brothers, sisters and brothers, the Federation continued to adhere to the protocols, my beloved sisters and brothers. That is the first line of defense that's going to save our people in the Federation. And, you know, worldwide. But I'm talking first to St. Kitts Nevis. Don't be ignorant. Don't be a religious fanatic, because some of these religious fanatics, all of them, believe they can't catch COVID. You see, and see what happened up here? You know, we just got to just listen. You believe in what you want to believe in, you be what you want to be. But you cannot endanger other people's lives when you don't want to put on a mask in the presence of others. That's not right. And this administration, law enforcement must crack down on these people. For why? You know what? Like what? Into what? Nearly over, 9 months now? You've been hearing the same thing in St. Kitts and Nevis. Come on, our brothers, sisters and brothers, man. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. And that will go a very long way in saving lives. Could be your own, your children own, your mother, your father, your sister, your brothers. We got to look out for each other. Wear the mask. And when it is safe to take a breather, do so. When you go home, you could breathe all you want, all the fresh air and everything, man. But when you're out in public spaces, put on that mask, sisters and brothers. Now, brother, let me talk. I know my 2 minutes soon up.
It's
when it comes to the vaccine, what you say, beloved?
It's up. I'll give you 30 seconds.
Please, yeah. Okay, well, brother, let me say about the vaccine. Got to be careful with that vaccine, brother Patches. I'm telling you. Like Bill Gates, all of them, the hierarchy CDC, the hierarchy UN, the hierarchy World Health Organization, and PAHO, all of them, I want them to take that vaccine first, and then ordinary people could take that vaccine. Beloved, who want to do it, but not this African here. I am not taking it. I'm not giving nobody no advice, Brother Patches.
I got you.
But I, Brother Nabu, ain't taking no vaccine.
Got you loud and clear.
Beloved, continue to listen. Keep up the great works. Pan-Africanism our perish. One love, beloved.
Yes, one love, my dear brother. And yes, with the vaccines, there'll always be hesitancy and a stigma, as I said, along with the anti-vaccine lobby. But yes, we'll have our views on that, although it is widely accepted a risk mitigation strategy against infection, especially from a dreadful disease like this coronavirus. I have my own hesitation myself about that, but let's go back to the lines. Caller at 8:45, you're live.
Good night to the Honorable and Patches Liburd. Good night.
Good night, my dear brother.
Patches, I do not believe that the police them supposed to rally people or get them on people supposed to go wearing any mask. Patches, when you put on the news and you see what's going on out there in the outer world, in the other countries them. Patches, what you want to tell me? These people can't understand what's going on. What do they want to just playing politics. They fear their life. Patches, this thing is a deadly, deadly thing, and this thing is serious. But Patches, when we move on, when you listen to some of them people on the other radio talk show, saying all kind of negative things because a unity government in. Patches, I feel shame of some people, some of our people in this country, you know. Patches, let me tell you something, I want to commend you, you know. Your opening statement, you know. One thing with you, I believe that you are one of the best. You're the best radio talk show host in St. Kitts. I don't care what anybody say. Because you got the clips, you got the facts, and you bring it to the people. You understand? When you listen to ignorant, desperate people, up to the pan Freedom Radio Station, right? With this guy they call EK. These people they love the country. They have no use for the country. Because the Prime Minister said that, come on, and we say we got surplus. And we got this and we got that, and the country, you know, the country is taken care of, and the people are taken care of. We ain't like other country out there. You understand? Oh, they said they got this, they said they got that. So people, the government must just jump up and start to support people. Give people money because they ain't working. And get angry because they ain't working. Look at the hospital. Look at the police station. Look at different things the government got to do in this country, Patches. You understand? They want to wear the government because of politics. The man coming in and just calling down, saying all kind of negative thing about the government. You understand? And I got to name him out. Because this is our country. I might understand he ain't born here, you know. He born in St. Martin or something. But I love my country. And I can talk about my country. And talk good about my country because I love my people and I want to see my people get on. And I want to commend the Prime Minister and the Cabinet to handle this COVID and handle the situation. How this country going? Patty, I'll get back. You have a wonderful night. God bless you and stay too long.
Yourself a wonderful night as well, my dear brother. And yes, you know, we have to act responsibly because I've been around, I've just passed through there by the ferry terminal and not one single person is wearing a mask. And I feel a little uncomfortable with that and I have to call it out. We have to act as responsible people. That's why I brought the issues or the information about St. Lucia, not to make St. Lucia look bad, but to send the message to us that where they were and where they are now, and it all has come from the community spread. It's inside the community, and the day it gets in our community, be with us, my Straight Dog family. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes. Good night.
Yes, you have a radio in the background, my dear brother.
Yes.
Some equipment.
Well, I'm moving.
I want the whole world to hear you, so move away and say your piece. Sounds
well,
like Bruce King.
First, I want you to say welcome back.
Good to be back, my brother.
Right, and glad you're free from that pollution right now.
Yes, I am.
But, you know, Patches, when you look at it, you know, it's to see a beautiful country like ours. Election come and gone. And these guys still going on the radio, campaigning every day. And what will make me feel bad, you know, is when some of them who could not make it to Church Street by themselves and get the help of the Prime Minister to make it to Church Street, still be on the radio sometimes talking nonsense and talking nonsense to the people and them, and that's how they go this way. You know, and don't let nobody fool you. This government is the best thing God ever put in St. Kitts to run a country. Don't care where you take it from. They has done the best. I cannot talk about the health system. The health system is the best in the Caribbean and about third in the world. You know, so these are the things what the Prime Minister set out to do, and he are doing them peacefully, uphandedly, and he just fortunate in what he's doing because he are blessed. He's a God-loving man. So when you hear some of them on the radio, them talking, sometimes you got to turn your back on them. Because I remember in Mr. Bratcher days, when some of them on the radio talking the police outside waiting for them, you know, and straight and late they're gone. You remember that?
Well, we passed those days now. Our democracy is alive, though.
Well, democracy is alive,
Yeah, that's
but not for
democracy.
people to pull down our country and you ain't from here. You understand me? I ain't going with that, you know. That ain't going to work in my book. Anytime I go to any country, I respect the laws and the rules of the country and respect the people them for their rights. I can't go to Antigua and tell a man, boy, me not take the vaccine because Antigua people stupid to take it and all of them kind of thing. You understand me now? Them things can't be going right. Each man is on their own. It's only a child. You have to ask the mother if he could take the vaccine and so on. But every big man have to take it. And these vaccines were coming here. They don't test all the time.
No, but they have a choice. I don't say they have to. They have a choice whether they need it or they'll take it or not.
Right.
That's the constitution.
So, but don't encourage nobody else not to take it, giving it like the vaccine have a stigma.
Okay, my brother. You'll find out.
You know,
Yeah.
I'll be back because I got some things to touch up.
Okay, thanks for
your
input.
All right, bro.
And
God bless.
Thanks a lot, dear brother. And that's my straight dog family. Let's try to avoid the insularity as well. But let's go back to the lines. I'll call you live.
Okay, pleasant good evening to you, Dr. Patches. I hope you ain't leaving here after pork in the volcano, right?
Oh boy, the volcano would burn off all of Boy Blues pork. I wanted to qualify the pork, you know, right? Because you say a lot of things and you're not accurate. And straight talk, I want you to talk the truth. Okay. I do not eat Jasmine's pork. I like Boy Blues pork. I cooks it with the hair.
What kind of pork Bible had?
Okay.
A grey hog or black hog?
The razor can cut the hair off.
Okay. Anyway, welcome back to the program.
Good to be back, my brother.
And the commander is out on the parade field now, so all men going to obey to Nigeria. But I want to say something. Let me shift a little. At time Dr. Harris said, when you hear them talking foolishness, turn off your radio. Well, mine ain't had to turn off because I don't go there. Because I do not support people who going to watch right and call it wrong, and who watch wrong and call it right. All of them, they hold up on the side of the way, the Sugar Workers Money Radio station. All of them, they're out there, a greedy, hypocrite, dragon, and two-foot cash pan lawyers. They can watch a man like he, who was the other devil and not here, do so much wrong in this country, and they're propping him up, supporting him. When he take up the sugar factory and all the sugar factory assets and sell them, he never had no concession around the country. He just do what he want. And not one of them to open them out and condemn he. Now we got a good leader running the country, Dr. Timothy Sylvester, Surplus Harris. Know how to do it. All of them jumping up on the back. And you know what got them? They can't come wrong behind the table and say, give me this here, man, and this side here. Here, I need that with them. You got to apply the correct way. And you get your application approved. Now, I agree with you, Akino Patches. When you go in a man country, respect the laws of the land. If you cannot respect them, go out. You remember Mr. Bradshaw had deport an Anguilla, you know, St. Kitts Nevis and Anguilla was one, you know. Mr. Bradshaw deported a man named Dennis Richardson, who used to work as for deport him out to St. Kitts and Anguilla, all because of Dennis' opinion. So when they come talking the foolishness, and you know, from here, go out of here. I'm very sorry about that. This is our country, and this kind of time here. Every man got to be police. Every man, because we have our borders to protect, and we got to protect others from catching the virus from those who refuse to wear masks. And I am calling on the top cop. Make sure that you deploy, you police them, and let the police them do their work. You hear how many people all over the place ain't wearing masks in groups? Hey, what the police them do? What they doing? Anyway, my 2 minutes up, so I'll be back, Patrick. I got a little piece to sing on the devil when I come back. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, my dear brother. And yes, we have, again, my message tonight is we have to act responsibly. And one way of doing so is to wear your mask, sanitize your hands, ensure this social or the physical distancing. Let's go back to the lines. That's 5 before 9 o'clock. Caller, you are live.
Good morning, good evening, Mr. Liburd. How are you this evening, sir?
I am peaceful, my dear brother. Good evening to you, and how are you?
Oh, doing great. Welcome back, out of quarantine. even though your girl down in Brighton, she was always telling you have a safe your friend from Brighton, you know.
Yes,
I think I've met her, you know. They call her Cook on wood. Her boyfriend or her ex-boy used to be cooking on wood in the house. So try to get her a gas stove. But I like her. She's nice. A little naughty, but nice. And, you know, I would first like to say we have a few solid petitions and divisions. People like DuPont. That's what you see there. He might not have no PhD, but he's a solid. He has done a lot for the people in the diaspora. That's what you see there. No PhD, but and you people like you, of course. I mean, you're solid. You're upright solid. Now, this is one of the reasons why they wanted. I told you, it's a conspiracy. It was a conspiracy to get you out of there. A money man from the village. He spent every day during the election up there sitting with the Dominicans and giving them hundreds of dollars. A money man from the... But you know God is good. He left his man in number 3 wide open. But they always said, Patrick is too honest. Patrick is stand up for the people. We can't have him. So that man spent a lot of money in your town trying to get you. But don't worry. God is in control, Patrick. Okay? You're one of the most solid petitions. Now, I know you hear a lot of this on this freedom radio and all. It has been a disaster for the people thinking that freedom radio. But you see, our people, you know, our people have the people. The Queen of England is loved around the world, especially in Africa. You know why? She reminds us the Queen on her ears. Yes, she reminds us of our grandparents, and I'm not talking about these grandparents. The grandparents of 40 years ago. Your grandparents. You understand? She carried herself with respect and dignity, and this is what we love about the Queen of England. She's loved all over, especially in Africa. Okay? And Patrick, do not listen to the... Don't get yourself... Don't go... Well, I know you don't get into that a lot. Don't listen to this idiot about Queen and her ears. We want to leave Queen and his... Who you going to put? Douglas and his ears? Douglas and his ears? What's wrong with you people? Okay. But Patrick, let me tell you, our people have got to come like the Anglo-Saxon Protestants and the Chinese. How to live with each other, behave civilized towards each other. There are a few people, but the vast amount of people are not. And what you have, the people coming out who went to grammar school and they figured out the grammar school were going cliques, thief, rape, rob, and lie. Not you, not Dr. Lord, and a few decent ones. But God bless you. But I have a lot more to say, Patrick. But we can talk. But people must have to be... Don't listen to all this crap you hear on freedom radio. Oh, God, every day the same thing. Black, white, this, that. It has been a destructive force for our people. Okay? But Patrick, you keep doing the right thing. I have more to say. Oh, I didn't say who the other people do. Parry, Joseph Parry. Joseph Parry is a good and down-to-earth petition. Patrice is good too. But the thing is with Patrice, I told him, Douglas is a toxic guy. Why are you hanging out with Douglas? Why you vote against that law for term limits? He said, you mean I can't think as to whether you're going to pay for it? And he paid for it big time. But he was a decent guy, and Parry is a decent guy too. They're not boasting, they're not arrogant. Okay, but I have noticed that Patrice, but I just want you to know, it's a conspiracy. And one day, was a conspiracy against you, man. The money man from the village, he was in Newtown every day. Fight telling the Dominic in the room. They were in houses, 10 at a time.
Got you, my brother.
Okay, but Patrick, I have a lot more to talk about. But we have to behave as a civilized people, okay? You cannot stop. We have to forget that man Douglas. He had all kind of people around him, all kind of psychopaths, thieving like monkeys and lying. Where you talking? That's what he put in his government. Anyhow, Patrick, I'll talk to you again. You have more to say, okay? Don't worry. God is in control, okay?
Yes, my dear brother.
Okay, brother, cool.
Thanks for your kindness. You're never out of us. St. Kitts does not need immigration, reads this email. That is something to stop people from going where they want. St. Kitts need, once one comes to St. Kitts and are in the land, he or she has rights to reside and to be a resident if they want to. Don't follow other country abusing anyone. Anyone who gets to St. Kitts, they need to be guided to the office to obtain their residency papers. Thank you. Wow. That's very free. Caller, you're live. It's 9 o'clock, the top of the hour.
Hey, Patrice.
So.
Watch here, right? I'm a no Ike since it's small, and Ike family since me no Ike. All kind of people.
Yeah, but this is not about Ike.
Watch
really.
here.
This is not about
All kind of, but people just calling and talk about Ike and you know say nothing.
Yeah, but I don't
Watch
really
here.
want to entertain it.
Every time somebody says something bad about the government, this is the program to come and talk about it. Since me listen to the program, all the time I listen to the program gone on the jail now, man. This like a nigger house now, man.
Okay, well, thanks a lot for your input, man.
Me let's say like a nigger house where them a car about what happening Freedom FM and about EK. About the Spanish them want to do as they like here in a St. Kitts and the Chinese them.
Okay.
But he not talk about that, Mr. Politics.
But what you want to talk about? You talk for yourself.
I want to talk about Mr. Politics, so belly down by him. That's it.
Okay, got you loud and clear, my brother. Thanks for your input. And perhaps that gives you a lot of fun. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, good evening. Honorable Patrice.
How are you? You miss me?
Look for you.
You miss me?
I can't tell you.
You miss me, I asked you.
On the shoes. But what I want to tell you, right? Whether PAM, Labour, Youth, CP, NRP, or whatever, people want to walk to pay for the house. So people stop harass people about politics when they're working. So you all know if people ain't getting the money to pay for the house, you all got to give people the house free. Stop harassing people that at the work. Both you are Labour, you are Unity. People that go work for that. People go work for the money, will feed the children them, and look after themselves and pay the bills.
Okay.
And anyway.
Can I say something to you? Can I say something to you? When you're calling, right, just turn your radio off or whatever equipment you have there off, because I like to hear and I want the world to hear. So next time around you do that for me, right? Are you okay though? Are you working? Are you working?
You are doing stem cells, right? From organs and so from people. So people wanted to know that how the injection going. And they're asking again that when you was by the quarantine, if the army or the police guards you. And I want to know that if you had a good time there because they were guarding you. Ain't like me who ain't have no money to if I go away to that quarantine. You had a
you can't come back if you don't go quarantine. So you got to stay outside.
That's me. You lucky on me because you're ambassador and you won't get your free thing. But me know that's a thing.
Next time you're not able to quarantine together. How about that?
I want to watch on the shoes. I want them on Christmas.
Have a good
night. And I don't call anyone that took up. I was done by the spirit terminal and me see them there for no way.
Have a good night, my dear. Have a good night. Have a good night.
Take care, safe journey home.
You too, my dear. That's my Labour friend. At 4 minutes past 9, we go back to the lines. Call you live.
Patrice.
So.
Since I live in this country, born in this country, I never had intention to be a gangster. I always had intention to work hard for what I want, whether any circumstances or what crisis they have in the world. You understand? And Mr. Politics here, as simple as it take me, because I'm a hard-working guy, right? Some of these girls was working in the factory because Patrice, me love woman bad. I love woman bad. You understand? I mean, I discriminate against no woman. You understand? Whether forever or whatsoever, some of these girls put the problem to me. I make them give them $20, I make them give them $5, I make them give them, if they ask me things, they make a shopping and say, but that is me something I give them.
Yeah, but politics, sorry to interrupt you. Where are we going with this one here, though?
Yeah, but it's about $200 on whole. Get from some of them when they get the severance pay. You understand? Because hand go, hand come. You understand? And Patrice, we know that things change. Everything can't be the same like before. You understand? Through this COVID. And people are talking about Christmas, they're talking about carnival, they're talking about this. Oh, nobody gonna get the money, go tongue. Nobody gonna get the money, this. Nobody, up to tell me here, chaff, man. Talking about, you know, I remember back in the 70s, right when I was a smart young boy coming up. And I couldn't have got tongue for Christmas. Because me and the shows were here. My mother and my father and another thing. And the COVID bring back this kind of life now. So each and everyone got to share with everyone now. If you got a little talk, you got a little ham, we got to share with one another. Because the COVID has changed life differently to how life used to be. You understand? But when you hear these people talk, when you hear the outer world hear them talk, that's why you got to challenge them here. When the outer world hear them talking from the different radio stations and come and talk about how these people here suffer, people this, people that. Patrick said that was in tongue. All the bank line them long. Credit Union, National Bank, all the credit union, the stores them full of people. And these people talking about people, stuff, people, this, people like that. That's why they're going to name them out patches. And listen, they cannot give nobody no impression like something going on bad in this country because of the COVID and this and that, when other people over there suffering. When the Prime Minister said that we're doing better than others, he mean other people out there in the country. That's why surplus is all about, because he managed the country good. That the country could move on and do different things and share out the money, you know, with the social security and do all these different things. Eh? But Patrick, let me tell you something. These people don't love the country and I don't love the country. Okay. Patrick, have a wonderful night. God bless.
Have yourself a wonderful night. That's where you're going now, my dear brother. Yes, you have to be patriotic, love your country, and I understand you. Yes, and I want to make the point. Just last week, I think it was, in St. Lucia, Prime Minister Chastanet passed a resolution in Parliament to approve a $30 million loan from the Caribbean Development Bank to help him out in terms of the COVID impact. And COVID-19 has changed everything for every one of us, no matter where we are in the world. It has impacted us from a health, a social and economic perspective. And yes, I agree with you, Mr. Politics. We have to get back to sharing and helping each other and be patriotic in the process. Caller, you alive. Let's take this other call. Caller, you alive. Hello, caller.
Patches.
My dear.
Good night. How are you?
I am always much better when I hear you. And how are you?
I'm so glad that you're back again.
I'm happy to be here as well.
Yes. Take care of yourself.
Will do.
Please do that for me.
Do that.
Take good care of yourself. I know you're gonna do it. Anyhow, we're gonna meet. We have to meet. We have to meet.
It's taking too long, though, eh?
Taking too.
You see, I went in quarantine for a whole 14 days. Suppose they said I had the COVID and I wasn't coming back, and I didn't meet you. Oh, come on, do something about that.
Come on.
We're
gonna meet. We're gonna meet.
Okay, take care of yourself, my dear. Always good to have you.
Okay, then, darling.
Thanks a lot. Thanks. Bye. Bye. Let's go back to the lines at 9 o'clock. Call you live.
Mr. Liburd.
That almost sounds like Alice in Wonderland.
Yes, good night.
Good night.
Long time in a queue, you know. You
Yes?
have to get another station, another line. Because 2555 having 3. But you always in a queue, are you not subscribed to the voicemail? So I better to do something about that. The two nonsense people are just done talk. Politics right. The man always and the program bring down the government. And he right. Anyway, what I want to say, that since you was on the topic with the bus stand, those people, I was on a bus today, going west. The chauffeur first have on a mask, and two be a person in the bus, in hand on, me had that mine. When I'm coming back, the chauffeur hand on, and just one person with me hand. I said to them, only because I want to go home, why I jump in the bus? Because nobody's supposed to be in the bus when they see no mask on. In a country, you know, the person who ain't looking out for the mask, they're going to have to pay $500. So I have to better bring it here. When I said that, a lady in the bus say, what you talk about mask? Think it's hot and it's going to kill everything. So that's the intention they got. You go down the terminal, they abuse them, then argue in one another face and one another mouth. And police said that they stand up, say them agree. What they call it, ticket. And not see them. He said, but something have to be done, you know. Something have to be done. And nobody can call you, you know, but true, that was the program. And you too nonsense so you got. See you.
Thank you very much. I agree with you, you know. We have to act responsibly. Patches, I want to say something to a certain big lies in the country. Read this email. It was Douglas who first publicly exposed your dishonesty and corrupt practices while being a civil servant. You were so exasperated that you penned a calypso to what he did. But it was obvious to all that you did, in fact, were involved in acts of dishonesty while in the civil service. You then broke ranks with Labour and joined Team Unity. A leopard does not change its spot. Then broke ranks, a kleptomaniac and Dr. Harris believed in giving a man a second chance, and he embraced you in Team Unity. Consequently, Team Unity discovered for themselves that what Douglas had said about you was true. So they took the appropriate action against you, and you are now infuriated, singing and making frivolous, flippant, and stupid comments about Harris and Team Unity. The good thing is, all what you are saying and doing has absolutely no impact on us, for it will ever be Harris. Harris again, and let me issue that caveat that when Harris is ready to open his mouth on you with documentary evidence, I hope you will be able to withstand it. So sing your calypso, Mr. Lice. Read this email. At 9:12, I go straight back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Honorable Ian Patrick Liburd.
Your humble servant, sir.
I'm so happy to get in.
I'm happy to hear you. Oh, my dear brother. How about
It's over 50-something calls.
Yes,
I'll say one. Yeah, in the queue.
You showed me that one day. I couldn't get an answer response to it, but
but you make our day. You make our night. Being here tonight in the presence, not other than that, is important, and you work tonight. Thank you for being here.
I'm humble, brother.
And the first thing I want to do is congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister and his 27 years in service as a parliamentarian to the country of St. Kitts and Nevis as a member for number 7. It's important we remember that because yesterday made 27 years, the 29th of November 1993 is when he was elected, and that was a long time, and after that you know what happened.
I missed that. I mean, I'm getting back here, right?
Yes, I know that. I didn't hear nobody speak about it before.
Yeah, I missed that.
That's why I had to bring it to the attention of the...
Very important. Yes. Congratulations as well.
Yeah, no problem. But dig him up.
Yes.
The man, he got the right job right now.
Yes.
Because that's what destined to be before. You understand what I'm saying? And no matter what, who tried to stop it, didn't stop it. And God hand in that way. Now, let me move on to number 2. Because I'm going to be short. Because I want to make sure you miss so many them short. I want you to remember the song from Calypso Reddy, where he sang the song and say, Austin Edinburgh, I wonder how you feel. Ike Flanders, I wonder how you remember the song there? By Reggie? I want you to put it and play it, yeah? Because some people forget about the 2015 election and think that 2015 forget about and they think about 2020. Now let me move on to the next one now. I heard a DJ on the radio talking about his account returning here after living in the U.S. under the quarantine. And I have to big you up for your account for your gift tonight in your opening statement based on your experience in quarantine to compare to the one where he gave, where he wanted to tell people here what to do in terms of how to go about their business. The CMO, the National Task Force here, and the CHM, Chief Health Medical Officer, whatever. Now, these people here got to understand, you know, whether they come into their country, or whatever they go into a country, they cannot dictate to nobody what the situation is, or how they must operate, and how they must do the job. Because the people in here, and the people who in charge of any destination, any country, any jurisdiction, any authority, are guided by PAHO, the World Health Organization, scientists, experts, and other people. And there are none of them. So I wanted you to understand, do not give any impression that the people here are not doing a good job, because based on the analysis what you dictate tonight in terms of it's working. It's working. The quarantine and the corridor went down from the enter is working. And that is not, I didn't hear that from the guy, the DJ, but he speak about issues where he had an encounter when other people encounter. Well, if that is the situation, that doesn't have to be like that. Because the most thing what we have to do, the most important thing we have to do is protect the people here. Honorable?
Not at all.
Okay, then, thank you. And it's important that we remember that day, because at the same time, in going forward, I want the people who've been working overtime, day and night, in the national duty, Dr. Lord and the CMO, Dr. Lord, the CMO, and the Chief Health Medical Officer and the Task Force, Mrs. Chairman, Mr. Samuel, to remember, April, May, and June are gone. This is more important now. December, November, done gone. December, January, more important. So just to focus and continue doing a good job and don't let nobody be distracted. You are guided by the people who you need to be guided by, not people who return in here who think they could get how they want and be how they want. Mr. Driver, you have a good night. Have wonderful. Thank you for helping me to get you, because 59 cars I've been trying to get you. Thank you.
Happy you got it, my brother. Thanks for reminding us of, well, of the 29th anniversary, the 27th, anniversary of the Prime Minister's election to the Parliament. And it's out to get some kudos. That was an oversight with me as well. Huh? Well, I didn't remember that. But Patches, I want to say this to Dr. Patrick Martin. Sir, I want to applaud you for setting the record straight last Friday afternoon when your co-host Judy Liburd said something that did not reflect well on the government. And you courageously and emphatically said to him 3 times that it is not true, that is not true, that it is not true. So what it is, then Dr. Martin replied, Julie. And Dr. Martin set the record straight by telling Julie the truth of the story. Patches, it isn't all times I countenance and approve Dr. Martin's suggestions, but this time he was objective, unbiased, and outward looking, and I have no other alternative but to say, well done, Dr. Martin, reads this email. At 9:19, we go back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night, Mr. Liburd. Welcome back. Welcome back.
Good night, my dear. Good to be back as well. How about thou?
Yes, I'm fine. Thanks and congratulations to Mr. Timothy in there for 27 years.
Yes, 27 years.
Yeah. Well, may he live to see many more and run the country many more longer. Yeah, I want to find out here up the level, level of Phillips is right. Is it true that we're planting back coffee here again, because coffee really was a thing, never really bringing in money, when they bring it here, introduced it here in the 60s, maybe in the 40s, in the 50s also. And they got to leave it and go to sugar, so I would like to know what the reason why somebody come now open the industry here again, if it's something really profitable to our people, how much people can be working there, and so on, to make some money from it, Level is a nice place. One time I went up there when I was younger, and all I see up there, Blue Heady and other thing was there, Tanya and them, I don't know. Why they have to put it into coffee now. Right, so I hope we could get a full estimate about that, what's going on and whatever. And Mr. Politics, tell him to give a little donation. Him 100 food basket, to people who are in need, because he always knows it all and all and all.
Okay, got
And
you.
anybody born here, mother from here, and the born St. Martin, they're from here still.
I got you.
And
Mate.
when you're from the state, you can come home and vote, whereas your mother was from St. Kitts. So let the people express themselves, and he ain't born here, but your mother from here, so just as if he come home and he get here right.
Yes, you got.
And
Okay.
please get some food hamper, because he got enough
Okay, I got you. You said that already. I got you. Yes, you got citizen.
money to give away. You always got to disturb people.
Okay. Okay, I got you loud and clear. That's what is called citizenship by descent. At 21 past. Are you there, caller? Hello, caller.
Hello, Mr. Baptist.
How are you, my dear brother?
I'm glad to hear you.
I'm glad to be
Well,
here.
you know how long I think by? I'm so glad.
You got a lot of faith, man. I know you'll get through.
I get you. Listen here, Mr. Baptist. Now you're out of quarantine. Because you might run up on you today. Now you're out of quarantine. Listen here to me good. God has set you on the rock. And Mr. Patrick, you cannot move. You know why? Because you're a good man. And everything I'm saying is come from the Bible. A good man is favor. And he ruled his house well, direct his affairs well. Now, listen here. You are going to be blessed of the Lord because you have compassion on the least. And the word of God says, and I always repeat it, blessed is the man that considereth the poor. In the time of trouble, the Lord shall deliver you. Let me tell you something. You've been blessed and highly favored because you look down to the small man. You give them the school bag and all that needed. You give them hot lunch. And when nobody, the only two people in East Boston do it is you and Michael Powell. And so, you see how Michael Powell is suffering? Because of what he do. The Bible says, cast your bread on the water, and you shall find it many days after. So you cast your bread on the water, and know you're going to find it many days after. And you and your children, they're going to be blessed. So whatever they're trying to do to you, Mr. Patrick, it cannot work. Because the word of God said, no weapon that form against you shall prosper. And every tongue that rises up against you in judgment shall be condemned. Mr. Patrick, you take care of yourself. And I'm going to tell you something, you know. Is God direct the Prime Minister to look after you? And I'm saying tonight, you don't take on nobody on the harassment. Fret not yourself because of evildoers, neither be envious against the work of iniquity, for the soon shall cut down like a grass and wither away. So when they come one way, he come back to another way. Whatever they do, the Bible said in Galatians chapter 6, where it says, whatsoever man soweth, he shall also reap. You can't plant potato vine and expect to reap yam. So you know we people, yeah, you take care of yourself, Mr. Patrick, and have a pleasant night. See you, bye.
Good evening, my dear brother John, the Bible man, I call him. Let's go back to the lines at 26 past 9 o'clock.
Yeah, well, Patrick, at least all the apples in the basket ain't going to spoil and get in wrong. So like the email that you read about Dr. Martin, I have to give him his kudos for being honest. And it's a shame to see that somebody who owns a business where they make the bread from, the daily bread, going to use the business to humiliate, degrade, and scandalize people's name and say all manner of evil about them. It's a shame. How in the world you going to take your hoe and use it, let somebody bang you up on a stone till it stick break, eh? And talk about them a journalist. And they don't attend nothing to the government. When the government could got 25 press conference, whatsoever it is, they ain't going there. All because they were embarrassed by the same person who they must support and believe that the supporter there is God. It's a shame on them, man. That is now, I want to say something here. It seems like a lot of them they who wearing the police clothes. They pick it out to summons. And it ain't supposed to be so, no exception to the law. The law is the law governs the country. It doesn't matter who break the law. The police supposed to uphold the law and enforce the law. How in the world all these niggas I go up and down from bus, all over the place a gamble up, a stand up in a bungle up, and nothing on the face. Eh? And when you talk to them, they will come and tell you about what? Nobody can make them wear masks and all the nonsense. Police, I do your work, man. If the people them don't wear the mask, our population ain't even 75. And one sneeze and half a sink is down. And the other sneeze, the other half gone. And we done, we ain't gonna nothing your body treat them. Let's throw him all out in a blaze of disgrace, just like he came in, like a serpent full of legions. Let's throw him out like he came in a blaze of disgrace. That's what they're going to do to Douglas. He is the devil or not. He said no one devil going to come back here with Christ when Christ come. He is the other devil because he has nothing good in his heart for Dr. Harris. And he do not love the country and he do not love poor people. Come a yard. No, they don't stop you. Come a yard. Just like how we say he ain't taking no responsibility for no crime. 36 people get murdered in 2013. And he said he ain't taking no responsibility. Crime gonna happen. Look when water drop and I run off a duck back. And so here tell them come a yard. Just like how we never take no responsibility for the old grammar school. But I'm a doctor. Nothing is wrong with the school. Go in there. And people come talk about the supporting he. Supporting that every day. Man who uphold what is right. Condemn what is wrong. Anyway, Patrick, thank you for me 4 minutes. Have a good night. Dr. Harris, congratulations to your 27 years in politics. And if I get in tomorrow, I'll give you the rest. Congratulations. Thank you.
Thank you, my dear brother. We need to get serious about this pandemic with this message. We must forego all crowd activities which are centered around Sugar Mass 49. Seemingly, the authorities are hell-bent on bending over backwards in accommodating these types of crowd activities. I am a senior citizen, and I'm deeply concerned that the government is blatantly overlooking the fickle situation which we seniors find our vulnerable selves in. Why in God's heavens can't we just forego this Christmas? These activities that have the potential to bring the entire country to its knees. Pandering to a segment of the population is hardly worth losing one's life. A word to the wise is enough, reads this message. At 9:30 to the bottom of the hour, we go back to the lines. Caller, you're live.
A word to the wise.
Hello, caller.
Yeah, good evening. Try to get into Mr. Liburd.
You're live. Just turn your radio down. You're live on Straight Talk.
Okay. Hello?
Yes, you're live.
Yeah, Mr. Liburd, welcome back. I'm glad to see that you're free from prison once again.
Yes, I am free. Free like a bird, my brother. I didn't even recognize your voice, man. What you're trying here tonight?
Well, I'm trying something, man. I'm trying to fool the world, you know?
Almost fooled me.
Yeah. Well, freedom is a great thing. Let's hope you don't end up in that situation again.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, I was very pleased to hear the two sound bites you played of Mr. Douglas tonight. It told me, taught me. I thought I knew a lot of the gentleman, but he taught me a lot, and it falls totally in line with his policies with regards to crime in the past. He was very reckless with crime and people's lives. He also was very reckless with the finances of the country. He cared nothing at all about how he spent the people's money, running the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis into the ground. He cared nothing about the people and the hardships that they would feel. So I should not have been surprised when he is of the opinion that persons should just come into the country. Yes, he's saying that local nationals from overseas should just have the right to barge into the country and do as they want. He forgets how many nationals living overseas have died from this thing. I know of about 3, and I'm sure there are more. So we do have our nationals, our fellow brothers and sisters overseas have suffered from this thing. We do have the virus overseas. So why should he want to bring this thing home? The thing about it, you can't say he's not a gain from it because he's not a practicing doctor anymore. So he can't get up and say he can be making the medical fees out of it. So what is he trying to do? Kill off the rest of us? It would be interesting for him to explain this irrational conduct, the sentences that he makes. Something is wrong with that man's head. He needs psychiatric analysis. Thank you, sir, and drive home safely.
Thank you for your input as well, my Straight Dog family. And in the event you have just joined us and perhaps wanted to know what soundbite he was talking about, I introduced the flip-flopper or the flip-flopping tendencies of some in our midst. And one such is the former leader who said this pretty early, just before elections. This was his stance, my Straight Talk family. He was trying to win a seat.
Reports, we're going to get cases. The CMO was right to say that.
The time has now come for more decisive leadership. This is the stage at which we need to ascertain, through an expansive testing drive, we need to ensure that all persons who arrive at our borders countries are in fact tested in order to confirm their status. The key to containing the virus at this stage is to test, and test again. This is the only way to arrive at an accurate assessment of the situation here on the ground in St. Kitts and Nevis.
That was when he was trying to get back into government. But he lost his way. And this is when his stance changed.
You have to get approval to come home. It's not good governance, in my opinion. They have to be approved to come to their yard. This is their yard. You understand? You can't just simply make people to believe they are second-class citizens in their own country. Because right now, it is out there that tourists are being treated better than them. I'm telling you, it's out there. It is this talk out there in the town. Our citizens are made to feel that they can return home and don't have to have approval from a government to come to their yard. That is the point I want to.
And all is required is a pre-arrival. There's a pre-arrival protocol which was outlined by Dr. Hazel Laws, the Chief Medical Officer. Very clear.
What are the pre-arrival requirements? you will be asked to log on to the site, the website, the URL www.knatravelform.kn. There you will see the St. Kitts and Nevis entry form. Every traveler coming into the Federation will be required to complete this entry form. So if you're coming in by air or by sea, you would have to complete this form. You would also be required to provide us the result of a PCR test that must be done within 3 days of travel. So if you are coming to St. Kitts this Saturday, you would have had to go to your lab today, this morning, and to get your sample taken, test processed, to get the result by Thursday, Friday, ahead of boarding the plane on October the 31st.
What's wrong with that?
This PCR test must...
What's wrong with that, my straight dog farm? Let's go back to the lines. Let's take this other call at 24 before 10. Call you live.
If you think he ain't got to give an account.
I'm going to give it 30 seconds.
Me just come to say this. If you think he ain't got to give an account for the money up Gatwick, lay bang him out.
Okay, got you.
See you.
Got you. Let's go back to the lines. Caller, you are live.
Patches, I'm going to be quick. I see that we got a good man, an ex-good man in Peter Cabbage, ma'am. Patches, I wonder, she don't know that the people are thinking they're fed up by him. You understand? If people get fed up by him, you know, Patches, I want to know if you do want to people get fed up by him. Douglas, if people are thinking fed up by you, what you say? And nothing, no.
Okay.
This country got to move on. This country got to move on, doggy.
Okay.
With a unity government. You understand?
Okay.
You camouflage where you acting 2000 this and 2000 that and 2000 that we ain't want it no more.
Okay, got you, my brother.
You can't convince the people anymore with them kind of ignorance there.
Okay, got you, my brother.
Okay then, Patches, you have a wonderful night again.
Thanks a lot for your input. We go straight back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Good night.
Good night, my dear.
I called back to ask politics when is the concert. And here?
Yes, you're on the air.
I hear politics voice still. And the people they're waiting maybe to hear if a death, God forbid, I hope I wouldn't be in it. Then they start to run up and down like fowl without head. Is that what they're waiting for? And bonus, nobody's supposed to come in and work out like now, sir. Congratulations to the Prime Minister. Culture, tell me when is the concert? Okay, see you. Go. Get home safely.
Thank you very
politics talking still.
Thank you very much. Every Friday afternoon, Sam Conda on a radio station articulating that the government must get the opposition on board to work along with them in respect of the pandemic for all other government in the region. Sam, we all know that you are a very short-sighted and oblivious. Unless Douglas is running the show, he will not cooperate and work with you. You forgot you have said that repeatedly to us, Sam. The opposition parties in other regions are incomparable to here. They are rational, prudent, and make constructive suggestions as opposed to Douglas's Labour opposition. He said he will not concede the election nor recognize the government, for it is illegal. That is someone you want in discussion with government, Sam? The Prime Minister have said it repeatedly. If the opposition have any suggestions, let them document and submit them and provide they make sense, beg your pardon, it will be considered. I concur, reads this email. This other email reads, Ambassador, welcome home. I know lockdown, even though it was in luxury, was not easy. When you see the redundant doctor from number 6, give him the raw facts on the solitary confinement that awaits him when and if he has the nerve to show his face in England again. Patches, he's always saying he's a medical doctor. Patches, it's going on 3 decades since he practiced medicine. The vagabond is trying to sell the nation fake COVID tests with that Indian from Port Zante. Good night, and God bless you, and stay safe. Reads this other email. This email reads, my straight dog family. Patches, the Labour criminals, Labour propagandists, Labour armchair critics, and Labour sore losers are at work. They recently sabotaged the cable company by willfully and maliciously cutting the cable lines. I want to hear the 3 Friday afternoon jokers on freedom what they will be saying on this very serious consequential matter. Patches, if they do not condemn this despicable act against cable in the strongest possible term, I will hold these 3 bitter sour oranges responsible, reads this other email. I'm going to stay with some emails for a moment. This email reads, Good evening, Patches. St. Lucia is really a perfect example of people not taking the pandemic seriously. The health minister did lament the fact that people were ignoring protocols. They were not acting responsibly, and those were the main causes of the spike. Patches, that church you went to on Saturday needs to be closed down, on Sunday actually. As a matter of fact, if I had gone to that church and the folks were not wearing masks, I would have left immediately. We do not need any Jim Jones in the Federation, reads this email. This other email reads, I really don't know why Dwyer don't keep off the radio. Last Friday he called into Freedom and expressed his perspective on the matter in the Bahamas, where the Deputy Prime Minister had to resign over a fraudulent case he was involved in. Then he mentioned the matter in Antigua, where the Education Minister had to relinquish his portfolio because of misbehavior in public office. He then tried to draw a parallel between those situations and ours here in the Federation. Yes, Dwyer, there's a similarity with your conduct and behavior in and out of government, the Little Valley Golf Course, and Miss Gwenny's properties. That is the answer Dr. Martin Salmon Jr. should have told you when you asked the question. This email reads. This other email reads, Mr. Liburd, the unveiling of the rails to trails done by Honorable Lindsey Grant, is it the continuation of the scenic railway around St. Kitts? The railway, the old factory, need to be put back in operation so it can also extend it down to Port Zante, also beautiful. Get it done. And one day it will be done. Get it done. Get the railway go all the way over to Christopher Harbour. That will be nice. Thank you. Read this email. The next question, the rails to trails. No, it's not the extension of the railway as far as I know. It's my straight talk family. This email reads, Good evening, Patches. I think that it's time Culture and Mr. Politics get their own talk show. Nearly every talk show you tune in, they have to be calling in. They prevent other people from getting their calls in, and worst part about it is that they keep repeating the same thing over and over and on every show. Imagine Culture called in on the mark about 5 times last evening, and each time he spoke long. People are getting fed up of them, and while there's nothing wrong with them airing their views, they must be more considerate and allow more people to get in, or get a word in, reads this email. And this other email reads, and I'll finish these emails before we go back to lines. Bear with me, my Street Talk family. Dr. Liburd, we want you to build a Spanish town where you can go and find any Spanish-speaking person, like in New York, a Chinatown, a French town like French St. Martin. Get a few acres of sugar lands and do so. Make St. Kitts a 21st century island where we are able to find lots of different nationalities. Thank you. Patches reads this email. And my Straight Talk family, it's now some 15 before the 9 o'clock hour, and we go straight back to the lines. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Yes. Good night, Patches.
My dear brother, jam down. Good night. How about thou, sir?
I'm fine, Patches. Nice to hear you back out the quarantine.
Yes, good to be here, my brother. Good to be
Patches,
here.
Patches, I want to congratulate the Honorable Prime Minister for 27 years, 27 solid years in Parliament. And at the helm, the Prime Minister doing a great job. But the Prime Minister have to take it to the another level. Because we can't get back here looking like how it looks with people taking advantage of us. I'm not going to endorse that at all.
We elders, them should be able to walk anywhere in Bastia and the sidewall. And when we see around Bastia, it hurts to a lot of genuine petitions. The bother, they're talking. We have one of the most brilliant cabinet in Bastia. They drive around Bastia every day and watching where we see on 4th Street and Liverpool Road in an empty market, 112 stalls, and not a business in the market. One of the biggest turn hand for years got to downsize your business because we allow people to just doing as they like in Bastia. This country have laws, Mr. Prime Minister, and we're not going to support this, especially jam down, I will never support that. We need the commerce, it's true, around Bastia, but we must put it in the market and let the garbage workers them get easy work. All the garbage them at one area. We're not going to support what we see in Bastia. And Palmer Square need to light up. And I'm calling on my government, to deal with these two things before you have a budget address, because I will be speaking and speaking loud. I didn't walk into the side, I behind, I was in the middle. Please, Mr. Prime Minister, get these people down in the market. The market got to make money to sustain itself. We in a COVID crisis ain't generating money like how we used to generate money. No cruise ship, patches bill appear down there, and people saying it even become a white elephant. Thank God it's there for purpose. And if we got to get out this pandemic, these big ships will coming back here. We got to find money to keep the country running. And it got some people coming down Port Zante and thieving out some plants on both ends, the Pelican Mall side and the side to rock, thieving the plants, and we ain't going to endorse them kind of things. Leave the things them alone. When do I need the plants them? Some beautiful plants they put there and people thieving them. You could imagine how St. people behave? Plants, patches, to beautify where we got to bring money to this country, the thieving. Patches, have a good night. Jacqueline, good night. And culture and politics, don't care what they say. Well, if we don't talk, we ain't got no show because them ain't gonna come and talk. Have a good night, Patches.
Have a good night, my dear brother. Always so passionate. And I like one thing you said, though, right? In terms of taking it to a new level, and you referred to the street vending or the street vendors. And you made the point, and these are your words, we need commerce, yes. And really, the street vending is an entry into commerce. I think you're saying to the whole world and to all of us here that it must be organized. The sidewalks are for pedestrians, and yes, we need to get this street vending organized and allow the sidewalks to be free. Caller, you're live.
Patrick.
Yes, sir.
The culture of the loan. Is it St. Nevis?
Hello?
Nobody how far it's calling. Particularly what from Stallers.
You got your radio on, so you're getting a little feedback though. Could you just turn the radio down and...
Sorry, what?
Yeah, that's all right, I want the whole world to hear you.
The culture and the loan.
That's true, yeah.
But them keep up thinkers.
Okay.
You understand? From Stallers.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
I'll come here until next time.
Okay, my brother. Thanks.
So loan.
Thanks.
Father fast.
Okay, got you.
See you.
Got you loud and clear, my...
Okay, all right.
At 10 before the 10 o'clock hour. And as I said tonight, I got released from quarantine after 14 days in confinement on Saturday night. And I came with a message tonight, straight out of quarantine. And my message is very simple. We must act responsibly. That's all I brought to you tonight. Caller, you live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Liburd, me again.
Mm-hmm.
You say the bus stop be the stoplight, sorry, to go up 4th Street. You think it's right that we have a vendor right there? We may never see that in the country. There is a bus stop in Anguilla. I mean, stoplight in Anguilla. I see it in St. Thomas. I see it there in Anguilla, in thing there. I say Martin. I never see that. What happened? We ain't gonna control over these things or what? We can't be coming on saying, repeating and nothing doing, you know. I went to St. Martin, 79, you know. When you look, people coming to sell from the Dominica boat, they buy the stuff. It's in people yard like somebody on the main road in St. You used to go to St. Martin, show them to them as a young man go play with jazz, brass and so. If you go there early, you will walk around before you know to play the music. It's in people yard, people to borrow, to take. And let me tell you, say, man, well clean up, you know, so we jam them and say, we got to get this clean up, you know. I heard him today, I was by the post and I said, Lord, who upset him now? I hear him talking, he seemed as though he was very annoyed over something. I was there facing Palace, sitting cooling out. Because since the shutdown, I don't really go with the go live no more. And I there listening him, you know, can't hear him clearly, but I listen. We need to get this thing in order. They used to go hot dog cat. I could tell you because you go there, tell you, when you were younger with GIs. And right there by your bank, Mr. Claude, what he had a airline ticket on the other office on the other side. And when I go back there a couple of years after I came home for good and go back to shop, you ain't say that no more. I beg you, please, get this country straight no, because it's not right. I walking up in the road, when you know, I got to slip off a sidewalk because of a vendor. No? First thing you say, I have to fast and carry that on the ear to the next day. And that ain't going to make me feel good because suppose I damage my foot. I am not young no more, could I just slip off and come back up. No? I'm going to be there maybe fighting in the gym for a while, getting my little foot straight now before I could get back up. I beg you fix this thing. Send them down the market. Why today when the Dominica boat come, they down the market? They in the market. Our nothing do our market clean like a whistle. And I beg you put all your thing in order, you know. For next storm, I am a strong supporter of this party. And sometimes Mr. Patches, it look like I just getting upset when things, and simple things like them dear. One day gone up 4th Street way up. A lady up there sell me a bag. I said, how much for the bag? $90. I said, what happened? You in a store, you're paying duty? Oh, I got to pick up some to clear them, you know. But when me used to go say, man, go buy and come back and say, I never sell no bag. Them for people in a store who pay no stocks and Mr. Patches. What happened to this thing? I got people pulling around things, selling things like hard carry sir, and no license. And I need to charge me $5 every joke with man in on the road. Man, we need to come better than this. This is just talk and no walk.
Okay, I got you, my dear. I heard you loud and clear. And you're saying we should do something about it. And I'm sure we'll all agree with you. Let's go back to the lines. A caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Yes, that is me again.
How about that?
You got some people in this country here. Sometimes we just really want to know what kind of people they really are. Some of them are cut pants up on this side like a Santi Domingo, Machete, and Bill. You don't know what side they are. One time they're here, one time they're there, one time they're here next week. You don't take on them kind of people, you hear me? Because you imagine the same set of people who say they want you lose because you ain't doing nothing. When they walk around town, just walk in, listen to what people say, and when they come and pick up your radio, say so. You please don't take on them kind of people. You do not know where they be. They just walk and slip here, slip there, and slip all over. They come in and say, you don't take them on. There's Santi Domingo Machete, they on both sides, and you don't even know what side they on. You have a pleasant night, you hear me? Safe drive home.
Have a pleasant night as well, my dear. That's what Straight Talk is all about. And all the message I brought tonight as we wind down tonight's programming is I implore you, especially going into this particular period of the year, the Christmas season is to act responsibly. This is what the pandemic is teaching us every single day. The COVID-19 has changed everything for every one of us. Let us act responsibly. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
I don't pay my phone bill.
Are you there, caller? Okay. Seem to be having some people having fun tonight. I want us as mature people, though, to really respect the view of the other one. You do not necessarily have to accept their views, but at least we can respect it. Because each one has a right to free expression. It's a constitutional right. And we ought to be of a level of maturity, as I said, to respect others. And of course, in the process, you respect yourself. Caller, you're live. Hello, caller.
Mr. Patrick,
Yes, sir.
I am so pleased with John Dom. And the man is a very serious man. One day I was going down the road in Bastille, and I put up an umbrella, and me just turn off, see, I called me didn't say nothing. Me just turn off. He pushed me right on the sidewalk, me really, out there. So what John Doe is saying is true. Now, I don't know if I'm going to get any time tomorrow to call. Sometimes I call in there, I don't get. But I am from Constituency 7, you see. And I'm wishing my Prime Minister happy anniversary for the 27 years that he's in Parliament. In last year, this year, yeah, when the foot was hurting me. And I had to go and vote for him, put him back in Parliament, to put him in Parliament. I have done the work. And I tell myself, this is the last thing I can do. Vote for me Prime Minister and put him back there. Because he comes from a poor family. Me could tell you about that day. And so he know what poverty is all about. And so I thank God that God had chosen him to be the Prime Minister for 27 long years. And I'm thanking God for him. And he is going to look after the poor people of the country, especially his constituency. So thank God again for my beloved Prime Minister. And may the Lord bless him mightily and take care of him. As the word of God said, no weapon that form against he shall prosper. He just like a David. He just like a little David. When Saul lose the mantle, Saul used to throw javelin after David, you know. And so Douglas now joined that of Timothy Harris. But he can't prosper. So Mr. Patrick, you found me a good man, see? A good man. You must be good. So yeah.
Okay.
Why? Why? Hey, I see you here. Why?
Okay,
why? Hey.
Have a good night, my brother.
Yeah, you take care.
Yes. That's the Bible man. I call him John from Tabernacle. The market had its days, reads this email, but not for today. We all know and see that. The solution is to fill in the sea so you get parking and get space. So vendors will be spaced out. In the market, they are too close. The vendors like and feel much safer and better in the open. Listen to them. Thank you. Read this email. That is, these vendors on the street issue is long overdue. I also lost an eye because one vendor had her umbrella too low. And in another instance, I was cursed out because I brushed against a vendor, sticking out her rear on the sidewalk. Not even an apology was good enough for the woman, reads this email. So as we wind down tonight's program in my Straight Talk family, I perhaps take one more call, my final call, if you get in. But I brought you the message tonight to act responsibly. Let's take and make these my final calls for the night. Caller, you're live. I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Patches, good night.
My brother.
Patches, I want to congratulate John L. Powell, the MP for Central Bastille, number 2, for the work he is trying to do in Picapelli. And I hope and trust going forward he could get it done, because between there where we was just before the election, Patches, it's terrible. People littering down there trying garbage to them little alleys. It's terrible. And he making an effort. I hope some stakeholders could join with him, and people from the area, especially prominent ones who from the area, could chip in and even say, well, let me sponsor some gas for the backhoe to help clean up. We have to clean Sinkets. We have to clean Sinkets, Newtown, Irish Town, and elsewhere, where some vagabonds want to make us like we communities them is nothing. Patches, I applaud that. You start that, in East Bastille, Patches Liburd. And I could tell you tonight, this is one man, please, in your tender, during the time you was in government serving this country, is jammed down, because you have bring this thing to another level, and make ministers of government understand they got to give value for money. You have done that.
Okay.
And you are supposed to feel the way, because only one thing I want you to do for me, all who heading you right now about medication, let them go in Scotia Bank or Royal Bank, the government bank.
Okay.
You understand? They had a chance and they make a mess of it.
Okay.
Only two things I tell them. Patches do that, and Patches do that up there, and they done with them.
Okay, my brother.
Patches, have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother.
Rest good. Country love you because we see where you has bring to this country.
Okay.
A man tell me, Patches, just give me 2 more seconds. A man call me, go, Jam now come here. You always on the ear talk about Patches. Well, I don't talk about Patches, because Patches give me value for money. Me never see a minister operate like that. Not even Robert Thatcher. Not even Kennedy Simon. Go at the hem. But as an ordinary minister, you never get that from the cabinet. And only who got dark heart will try to go opposite to what Patches have done in Sinkett. And I'm going to tell you, he ain't going away now. Because we're going to find a way to bring him back. Have a good night.
Have a good night, my dear brother. I'm so humbled by your commendation. I did say I'll take 2 more calls, but here's what. My time is really done. The lines are going. Caller, I'll have to guide you really seriously this time if you can take 30 seconds. No, I'm not giving you more than 30 seconds.
I just want to congratulate the Prime Minister for 27 years in Parliament.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe if he was the Prime Minister out of the 27 years, he was the Prime Minister for 20 years. I believe thinking will be from the top of the wall. So, Mr. Prime Minister, I want to commend you because he's a great leader. I do not think, not except leaders in the, listen now, when your career done, as short as it can be, we got to honor you as the one of the best leader in the world ever seen. Managing a country financially like how we manage the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis. But it's a wonderful night. God bless.
Thank you, my dear brother. God bless you as well. And that's the way we're going to end it. My lines are going, but my straight talk family, I'm out of time. And I want to leave you with the message I brought you tonight. As we embark upon the next couple of weeks, it's a very important moment in our time, in our history, and in these unprecedented times with this COVID pandemic. Just act responsibly. Act responsibly, my Straight Talk family. This is what the pandemic continues to teach us every single day. COVID-19 has changed everything for every one of us, no matter where we are in this world. COVID-19 has negatively impacted the entire world. Yes, this coronavirus has negatively impacted life and livelihood around the globe without exemption. And we live in a global village. We are global citizens, impacted from a health, social, and economic perspective. What about the environment in which we find ourselves? It is most challenging at this period in our lifetime. And we are all feeling the strain and the pain. This coronavirus doesn't pause whether we are tired and or whether we are frustrated and want it to go away. It just does not pause. Whether we are out liming with our friends or our family, it spreads so quickly and it doesn't wait for us to catch up. So over the next few weeks, as we approach the upcoming Christmas season and the New Year, we need to urgently continue to contain the level of transmission in our federation. We have to keep our borders open, yes, to get back hopefully to our workplaces and avoid the potential stress on our healthcare system. Given the data thus far, we have done quite well. Let's just continue on that path, my Straight Talk family. And as we continue on that path, is the message I want to leave with you. Act responsibly. Please. That's all I'm asking you. So until we connect, my Straight Talk family, on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk, I must thank all, again, who called me, who supported me in any way during my confinement for the last 14 days. All who called tonight, who took part in this program, those who sent emails, those who listened on social media or whatever medium, on ZIZ Radio, on Sugar City FM, whatever the medium. Remember, you are the ones who make Straight Talk, and for that reason, I say a big, big thank you. I am Ian Patches Liburd, and God's spare. We will connect on Thursday for another edition of Straight Talk. God's will. So when you wake in the morning, I should say, remember, thank God for the morning light. Thank Him for taking you through the night. And my Straight Talk family, keep moving on. Bye-bye. Until we connect on Thursday, don't move your dial. Stand by for Albert Bradley. He plays a kind of music I'm sure you will love. Bye-bye, my Straight Talk family.
When I wake in the morning, I thank God for the morning light.